The second work I want to show you is kind of related to that, but it's a little bit more detailed. With this book, it starts in kind of in an order. We start with the center of our planet, of our solar system. The center of our solar system is not a planet. It's a star. It's a huge, big star. All the planets orbit that star. Do you know what the word orbit means?
Yeah, it goes like a
I'm gonna choose maybe Shreya because she's wearing yellow and she's kind of bright colors like the sun. Shreya, move your chair maybe to the middle of the yellow square. And let's see if somebody's wearing like earth colors, like brown and
I think I am.
safe.
I'm
You're gonna be earth, okay?
I thought I was gonna be that.
Can you orbit the sun? Right, that's orbiting. He's going around the sun. Right. Thank you. You can go sit down. Let's see. Claudia, do you want to be earth?
Sure. I have lots
You
of
have
blue.
blue, because
I have lots
Earth
of
is the
blue.
only planet, as far as we know, that has liquid water. So see how Earth orbits the sun. That's what it means to orbit.
I wanna do it
Another
Both.
time. Not everybody will get a turn. Thank you, Earth. And thank you, sun. You can go back to your seat, Earth.
too. Earth?
And you can go back to your space, sun. So we start with the sun, the center of our solar system. Again, this is kind of a coloring book. And we flip. So the first planet, you guys remember the name of it?
Venus.
No,
Mercury.
Mercury. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. Over here, there are some facts. It says Mercury is 36 million miles away from the sun.
But I thought it
The
was
diameter of Mercury is 3,000 miles. Diameter is like the distance from here to here. When it's a sphere, it's a distance from here to here. It takes Mercury 88 days to orbit the sun. So a year on Mercury is 88 days, but a day on Mercury is 58 days. This one is Venus. And Venus is 67 million miles away from the sun. The diameter of Venus is 7,600 miles. 1 year in Venus is 225 days. And 1 day on Venus is 240 days. No, thank you. This one is Earth. Earth is 93 million miles away from the sun. The diameter of Earth is 8,000 miles. From here to here is 8,000 miles. And it takes 365 and a quarter days for Earth to orbit the sun once. So every 365 and a quarter days, it's a year. And 24 hours on planet Earth is
1 day.
And what happens in that 1 day? Earth?
Orbits the sun.
No. Ah, that's a good point. Where's Earth? Come back, Earth. We need you.
Me. I think
It's her turn. It's okay. She's Earth today. Leave your jacket. And Sun, we need you to come forward.
Sun?
So we said that it takes 365 and a quarter days for. Go ahead. That's what it means to be 1 year. Stop right there. So stop right there.
Did you know
That's 1 year. But as Earth orbits the sun, it spins around its own. No, you're gonna spin around yourself. Yeah, twirl and orbit at the same time.
They're gonna get dizzy now.
Yeah. That's exactly what's happening.
Alright.
So every time the Earth spins once and stop, turn once and stop, turn, that's 1 day. Thank you, Earth. You can go back. Sun, you can go back. Do you understand the difference between orbiting and spinning around your own axle? Like, yes. So it takes 1 day to spin around once, but it takes a year to orbit the sun. Mars is about 142 million miles from the sun. It's 4,200 miles, the diameter of Mars. 1 year on Mars is 687 days.
Wow.
And 1 day on Mars is almost the same like ours. It's 24 and a half hours for 1 day on Mars.
Wait, now I
Jupiter is 485 million miles away from the sun.
Wow.
Jupiter is 87,000 miles, his diameter. It takes 12 years for Jupiter to orbit the sun one time. So, and it takes 10 hours on Jupiter for 1 day. It's 10 of our hours. This is Saturn. Saturn is 890 million miles away from the sun.
Oh.
The diameter of Saturn is 74,000 miles. To orbit the sun one time for Saturn, it takes 29 and a half years. And 1 day on Saturn is 10 and a half hours. So the days are shorter, but the years are way longer.
Whoa.
Uranus is 1,783 million miles from the sun. That's very far away.
Yeah, we can't live there.
The diameter of Uranus is 29,500 miles, and it takes 84 years for Saturn to orbit the sun just one time. And it takes only 11 hours for it to spin around itself once. So a day is only 11 hours. And the furthest planet from the sun is Neptune. It's 2,793 million miles away from the sun. The diameter of Neptune is 28,000.
I'm like Neptune.
It takes Neptune 165 years to orbit the sun only once. So 1 year on Neptune is 165 of our years. But 1 day on Neptune is 12 and a half hours.
Wow.
So these are some facts that when you do this coloring work, the facts are on the bottom of the page. It would be nice if you sit with your family and you talk about these facts. Some parents might know a lot more. Some of you might have some books in your family library about the solar system.
Yeah, I do.
It's a very nice conversation if you bring this home and share these facts with your family. This work is part of the science shelf.